good afternoon, everybody. Here we are, Friday afternoon again. Woo! It's almost like, yeah, it's the start of the weekend, but I don't know, do we really notice the weekend anymore? Or is it just like, okay, it's Friday, yeah, it's another day. But that's all good. And today, a little bit different because I'm actually working from home. Hey, Leslie, I'm missing you. Although John is making me cups of tea, so that's all good. Yeah, I'm working on some different instructions and things for new products, so it's nice to sort of have a day. And the only reason we're doing it as such is because there's no power in the office, so there would have been no cups of tea, there would have been no Wi-Fi, and so we thought, you know what, we're just going to work from home and have done with then. Sorted. So hello there, it's lovely to sort of be with you, and here we go. I'm working on a blue tile today, a light blue tile. Now, I was asked a little bit earlier, where do these tiles come from? Because we talk about packs. And it does come from my little tile book. So if I open it up there, you see there's my little book. And I do have refills because obviously this pad will come away. You've got a little spring there, look, that you can just sort of move. There you are, just a little bit. And it comes away and you can put another one in after. But of course, it's going to be next week now. So I'll get those on the site as soon as I can. But for now, I'm working with a nice light pale blue. It's just a really again, I'm thinking trying to keep bright summery colours. And this particular colour is really going to work with what I'm intending to do today. I'm so excited about this one. So, okay, tile 74. All right, deep breath. So what we're going to work with today. Okay, I've got my circular frame stencils with me today. And I'm working particularly, let's have a look here. So that's the smallest. That's the next one up. And then that's the next one up. I'm going to be working with this one. Having said that, if you haven't got them, please don't worry about it. It's just that I need a circle. And this gives you a little pointer because I want to put things around the circle. So I thought that'd be nice to sort of give me the direction or the sort of space there. So I've got a black pen. And of course, because it's a blue tile, I can use a white pen as well. So then, here you go, pencil, tortillon, and I've got my white chalk pencil as well. Although I have actually got my coloured pencils with me as well. So a few bits and pieces. And see how we go, shall we? Are we ready then? Okay, so I'm going to start with the pencil. And I think, do you know what? Let's just all have a bit of a chill and calm down and just sort of take a deep breath. And just enjoy this one. This one, I think, so I'm really excited to sort of share this one with you because it's quite poignant and it's been in my head for a while. Oh, Christine, have you? Oh, that card's beautiful. I'm so pleased. That's great news. It's lovely, actually, that they do it, isn't it? Because I don't know why they don't do the cup of chance anymore. Well, I understand, I suppose. But, you know, it's nice to give a card away. It really is. You know, and we spend a lot of time on them as you know, as we do demos and things. So there we go. I've just drawn around that circle and just whilst I'm at it, here we go. I'm just going to mark not every dot but every other dot just as a guide going around. There we go. So just every other dot. You see? Let's go a little bit larger there. So you see, just missed one out every. And that's just all round. So I'm going to use that a little bit later. Okay. All right. So what I need to do now, because the stencil it's a little bit wide for what I'm wanting. I'm not wanting to go that wide particularly. I'm just going ever so gently, just sort of underneath those dots, is just sketch in another circle. I mean, you can use the frames and, you know, faff with it a bit, but sometimes it's nice to see just how it's done. Okay. All right, so just with a pencil, so you know if it's not quite right later you can do it, and you're not going to need all of that inside section anyway, so that's fine. All right, see, I'm just sort of working just slightly underneath the dots just to get myself a little bit of a constant there. Okay. So there we go, there's my frame. Got two frames and it's sort of, the dots aren't in the middle, you see I didn't want it that wide, but I've used them as a little bit of a guide just to help me. Oh, Julia, you're going to celebrate then? Right, where are you going to go? So treat to M&S, go and get some, you know, go and get some garlic breads or something from that. Oh, their Jaffa cakes are just divine. So you perhaps need to do that. Okay, are we ready then? So, okay, I'm going to go in with a pen. Yes, let's go in with a pen. And I'm going to just start in the, when I say in the centre, let's just put a mark in the centre so we can just sort of gauge where it is. All right. And again, you just want to watch this before you get carried away and start drawing this. I'm going to, for all intents and purposes, just ignore that outer border just for now. Because what I'm going to do is add a little curve in from that sort of dot, sort of centre. And I'm going to come up and slightly over. And I'm not quite outside that border, you see? All right. So then I'm going to turn my tile and I'm going to create another one here. So this time let's go from there. And I am going to go out the tile, the little border this time. Let's see. And then turning it round, let's have a look. Let's go, actually. I'm going to do sort of that kind of shape, I think. And here we go. So you can see there, let's have a look at that. So you can just get the idea of sort of the size there. Oh, Marie, brilliant. That's good news. It's nice to know when things arrive. All right, so now I'm going to leave a bit of a gap and I'm going to add in another sort of curve there. Let's go. Yeah, I'm going to go just slightly under. There you go. Okay. So then here. Now this one, I'm going to do similar shape, but I want it to be a little bit smaller than the last one. There's a reason for that, which we'll come to in a little while. There we go. Okay. So I've got quite a large one and I've got a smaller one here. All right. Okay, so sticking with my pen, we could go in with white. I think I'm going to just stick with the black. There we go. Okay. And I'm going to start with, this is a pattern we've done before. I'm just going to use it in a slightly different context. Of course, we did it where we did the lock and key. So we start with a dot. All right, so let's go a little bit bigger so you can see what I'm doing. Oh, and then what I'm going to do is work on the dot, curl around and back on itself, and I'm just going to stop where that border is. Okay. Oh, we've got birthdays going on all over the place. Well, happy birthday. I've obviously missed those. It's a little bit tricky trying to look at messages and draw at the same time, so I apologise if I've missed, but happy birthday. Woo! Okay, so you can see what I've done there. I've done the same sort of thing and I've just drawn around that last shape. And then same again, draw around, just aura that shape. Okay, and then let's do another one. Alright, so you see it's getting a little bit wider each time, and while I can still go in there, let's do another. Just following it round. I'm just going to kick that out a little bit more there. Okay, I'm just going to add just a couple there. Okay, so this time I'm going to do the same sort of thing. I'm just going to turn my tile a little bit, but I'm going to do it in the opposite direction now. Oh, hey Lizzie. Oh, don't worry, you can catch up a little bit later. You'll get the hang of it. Just working my way around now. You can get the idea where I'm going with this. I think maybe you can see where it's coming from. Okay, and around, working there. There we go. So yeah, our power was scheduled to be off today for 6 hours. So we thought it would be a bit silly trying to go into work and do anything really. Oh, Bridget, that's great news. Well, you know, if you can't boil a kettle, there's no point, is there? So at least we knew about it and it didn't just happen partway through running a machine or something. But we do have quite a few power cuts there, so hopefully by shutting the power down and dealing with it, it's going to improve things. That would be nice. Alright, so in we go with that. So I'm not going to go, excuse me, I'm not going to go all the way up. to the sections here. I'm just going to add a little one. I think then that'll be it as far as that goes. So you sort of imagine. There we go. Oh, maybe it is Chris. So yeah, we've done the sails, of course, and we've done the. We're doing the water now. It's quite rough water, isn't it? There are other patterns and other tangles you can do for water, but I wanted it to have a little bit of a rough sea. It's quite a poignant sort of one, this. So that's where I was coming from with it. So let's have a look. There we go. You see where I'm going. I'm just sort of working around this bottom section. Alright, so I've got a couple going that way. So I'm going to do one now. I'll pretend it's sort of up here. They don't have to all start completely from scratch. So let's just have that one. Makes it look like it's going underneath. And then another one there. Alright. So just following the pattern. Going one way then the other. And just working it round. Oh, so I'm reading people's messages. It's nice to see, and you know that things are going on and you're out doing things. It's lovely. It's some of us, we know that things are still not quite as they should be, but we're just getting on with it, aren't we? Doing what we need to do. There we go. I'm just working it round. Let's do a few there. I don't want to go too far up, so you can see that I've got this sort of nice little pattern going around. Oh, Deb, hey, at least you got it. I know it takes a while to get there, but we get there in the end, don't we? Okay. So, all right, let's sort of come back to our boat now. Now we've got the water in here. I want to actually, I think I'm going to put another one in here just so it's not so random up there. That's it. Let's put one in there. Bit of a one licking up at the boat. There you go. Alright. Okay, let's finish that one off. Okay. So, okay, we need a little bit of a mast in here. So, I'm going to put one up here. So let's start there, and it's going to come under and down to this little bit here and down. And let's go straight in there. Actually, I'm going to sort of leave it there for a minute because I need to put a little bit of a boat in there, don't I? Something for the sails to sit in anyway. Okay. So there we go. So stopping there. Now you might find that your waves come all the way up there. So it's, you're not quite sure where it's going. So let's put something in here. So we've done these curves. So let's add in another curve here. Now I'm going to sort of go over that border. So let's bring it in here, look. Underneath there and around. So I don't have to draw the whole thing. I'm just drawing a section of it. Let's see. Okay. And that's sort of, I'm going to just finish that one off there and bring that back in. There we go. Let's just change up the shape a little bit. Alright, so we've got what looks like a little bit of a boat, a lot of this water, and then there's our sails. Alright, so at this point we can come back in with that circle. There we are. And I'm just going to put it back over where we were working with it. And I'm going to draw around the outside. Now if it's not in exactly the same place, it doesn't matter. We can go in and fill those bits afterwards. It's just that I wanted us to have the opportunity to draw this going over and out. You see? So then that's a little bit of the inside. Now, if you're thinking, oh, I've got this curve to do, you could always use the stencil. Say it's a little bit, could following it round, but so I'm going to do it sort of freehand. So working it along here. See, I've now got those waves that I can use to help me as a bit of a guide. Let's go that way, see how I feel about that. Oh, it doesn't really matter. There we go, drawing those in and working my way up, just following it round. Yeah, so not going in the sails It's about there. Okay, so this is where we're at. Let's just have a look at that. So we've got that lovely little boat in there. Okay, let's bring this sail in. Let's have a line going from here to here, just so we know that it's actually holding on to something. Maybe we'll have two. And then maybe a couple this side. Look at this, so you can, you know, we've drawn a boat. Woo! All right, loving it. So, okay. Oh, gone on a side journey. Oh, I've never heard that before. What does that mean in code? Okay, again, coming back to these dots. Remember these dots? Now, there's a couple of ways you can do this. You can draw it freehand, or if you've got your stencil line around, you can actually go in and you can put in little circles there. I'm going to go up a little bit. There we go. Got a little bit of a porthole-y kind of theme going on there, but I don't want to dwell on it massively. But there we go. See, these dots are great, aren't they? Nice and small, just giving you enough what you need to get that shape going. So there must be one around there somewhere. Okay, now here we'll see just a bit of one there maybe, and then maybe a tiny bit, nothing much. Okay, let's have a look. All right. So that's pretty straightforward, pretty easy as it goes. So moving it up now, I'm just going to add in a little bit of, remember those sort of lines and dots, just to give the boat a little bit of an effect. Okay, so we're not going to go too crazy with all the tangles. We've got enough going on, but a little bit of texture, doesn't it? There we are. Alright, so you see I'm working with the slight curve just to give it a little bit of work there. Alright, so there's our boat. So that brings us now to the sails, and yeah, we can fill these with patterns, but I thought today we'd have a look at doing words. So I'm just going to have a little bit of a line there, just so it looks like they're holding attached to the pole, see? Okay, I think actually I could even have, let's have it this way, a little bit of a flag there. Okay, let's do a little bit of a curve there. That puts our flag in sort of the top position. Okay, so I'm going to focus on the smallest of those sails first. Okay, so again, you can actually come in with your white pen. Actually, I might come in with my white pen for this, just because we have. Let's do it. So I want us just to think a little bit. We have had quite a tough time, haven't we? You know, when lockdown's been really weird, and I think something like this just sort of puts it into perspective. So I'm gonna think of, you know, all the things that I thought about whilst in lockdown, and of course one of the most things is we worry, don't we? So what I'm going to put in here then is the word worried. There we go, worried. Just in my regular writing, nothing fancy. Worried. Okay. And then of course let's add another one in. I'm going to start up this top section here. Again, one of my words, I suppose, and matched with a lot of us, would be anxious. There we go. Putting that one in. Okay. See, we've got a little space sort of here. Let's come in with we'll fill that in a little bit. Let's think of another. Okay, what about what if? Yeah, what if? So this one I'm going to do in capitals this time, just to change it up a bit. So you don't have to do fancy calligraphy lettering. You can if you like, but you don't have to. Just keep it with your own writing there. Just a tiny little question mark, see? What if? Okay. Oh, Julie, no, I know what you mean. It's yeah, it's just sometimes it's nice to write things down. It's you know, certainly with these tiles and that we're doing, it just sort of just takes your mind off it just for a little bit. That's all. So I'm not saying it helps, you know, and it does anything specific. I'm just saying it's nice to try something, just do something a little bit different. So I know this is a little bit, you know, these are some things that are quite sort of negative. Yeah, so I'm going to see if I can get, you know, the word, you know, you can feel quite lonely in there. I'm going to put a little dot in there where I've got some gaps, yeah? So let's take that and have a look at it. So looking at it from a distance, you know, we don't really sort of look at all the words, we're just looking at the fact that it's a sail. So you can see why I wanted a smaller one there, and then here I've got a larger one, because we've also got to look at the positives of all this. So, you know, let's look at those kind of things. So I think one of the major things that's come out of this, and I'm going to stick with the white pen now, is neighbours. You know, I've discovered neighbours, you know, and people that I might not have spoke to before, and you know, you help each other wherever you can. And I think also we've had that time at home. Now I know for some it's not been what you wanted, but you know, it's actually given us the chance to do those jobs that we might not have done, or it's, you know, had time with people. Okay, and what about, I mean, how many people have you know, never spotted this till before? So what about new hobbies? So that's something that, you know, it might be that's something you've not done before. You've took on something a bit different, even if you've done the bit of DIY. I know. Oh, and certainly one thing that's it's been important for me is gratitude. Really, I'm so grateful that, you know, I've been able to keep going. There we go, gratitude. See, I've worked it into that. It doesn't matter if you don't get all the space, it's fine. You know. And I'm going to put the word love in there. I think love, because, you know, I've really sort of focused on those that I love and doing things that I love, and I think that's sort of helped a little bit as well. Okay, and of course without my crafting I don't know what I'd do, so I'm going to put craft in there. But of course you might have different words that you want to fill it, or you might not want to put words in there at all. But I just think it's something a little bit different. Friendships is a good one, absolutely. So you know, it's a little bit different, isn't it? You know, we don't always use words. But I want to sort of put one round the outside. Now if you think that, okay, I'm not so sure about this, do it in pencil first. But I think I'm just going to go straight in with it and do the words. It's a little part of a lyrics, actually. I don't know. And I know some people have got, you know, people they like to listen to and stuff. I've got a particular CD in the car at the minute. I wonder if you can work on who this is. So I'm just going to go around the oh, there you go, I've built around the outside with this lyrics. Hey. I'm going to get the word little in there. There you go, a little boat with a sail. I think this was just a lovely little lyric that, you know, if you're just humming along and you don't really always listen, do you? But it's been in the car for a while now. So I've actually thought, yeah, I'm going to use that, with a sail from the memories. There we go. So it's definitely, I'm not going to fit it all in, but that's okay. With the memories I've been. So there's one more word to go in there. So where I'm going to put that. So I'm going to put it here because I've got space. Collecting. There we go. Now, if anybody doesn't know where that's from, it's from a James Blunt song called Cold. Yeah, I've built a little boat with a sail from the memories I've been collecting, and I just thought that was a really poignant one, and I really wanted to sort of mix it in and do something with that. So, okay, moving on then. I'm going to add a little bit of colour into this, of course. I'm going to start with my blues. I'm going to bring a bit of blue in. So there you go, a couple of blues. I'm going to bring in a bit of a bright green and a yellow. There we go. So very, very much ship colours, that kind of thing. So let's start with our lightest colour, I think. And I'm going to work straight onto the sails, assuming, yeah, that they've dried. Yeah, they're okay, they're dry. Now, I have got a little bit of a pencil line in there at the minute, you see. And it's a little bit dark, so I'm just going to come in and just take the edge off that and just sort of, I've not rubbed it out completely, but just soften it up a bit. Oh, sometimes we have to look at these things, don't we? And I just thought it'd be nice for us to just think back. Just going to add a touch of yellow just there and there. So that's just sort of my highlight. I mean, if you're not using colours, that might be where you put your white pencil. Okay. And then let's come in with the lighter blue. And I'm just really lightly, I know I'm working on a blue tile, but that's just helping that to work in. And I'm not, working around the words in particular. I'm just colouring the sail now. Okay. There we are. And same over here. So just going over and just adding in a bit of blue. Just to work it in. Okay. And then next bit, let's just add in some of that darker blue. Now this time, you see I'm being a little bit sort of more direct. Let's go a little bit larger so you can see it. And just adding in that touch. There we go. Do you Elvis Presley? You could perhaps put an Elvis Presley one around the outside then. I just thought the words for this were quite nice to sort of fit in with the boat I wanted to do. Oh, Maureen, are you on first name terms with your Hermes guy? At least, at least there's somebody. It's something, isn't it? I know we whinge at them and we pick on them when they're not doing what they're supposed to be, but they're all just people doing a job just like us. They go home to their families at the end of the day as well, and I'm sure they have the same complaints about their parcels going missing. So we've all had it. Yeah. So there we are. Just see, I'm just going around the edge now. Now if you're using pastels, you perhaps wouldn't put as much on, and you just do a little bit and brush it out with the tortillon, and just keep adding a few layers as you go. It's being that these are pencils, just going in and adding a touch of that. So I've got to work a little bit harder. There, Deborah, these are I said just pencils. Yeah, these are the pencils that I'm using. And there we go. So look, it says look colour on there. So yeah. Okay. So I'm going to come back in with that blue just to sort of help work that in. I'm just pressing on a little bit harder this time just to bring it in. You see, I've not really gone over the yellow so much. I've used that as the highlight, so I'm leaving it there. Let's see, those words are down now. Are they done? Just putting in some colour. Okay. So coming back in with my darker blue, I'm just going to add a little bit down the side. That's it, a little bit. So I don't want to fill the whole space, you see there? A bit down the side. And then if I come in with that lovely white chalk pencil and put a little bit of white on the other side, it's going to give that little bit of a highlight there. Okay. So off to the waves, and again a little bit of the darker blue. Now I'm just adding a little bit in the centres there. See? That one goes that way, that way. Okay. And then a little bit of that lighter. Okay. You see, I'm just sort of going around in the swirl. Just around that top section. Okay. Just working it round gradually. There we go. So I think a touch of green. Ooh. And let's have a touch of green in there. It's nice to bring a few different colours in. And because it doesn't have to be colours of the sea, it can be whatever colours you want to use, really. It's entirely up to you. You don't have to do the same as I have. Okay, let's have a bit of that lighter blue then, just to sort of work over the top of that. Alright. And over those. And just working it gently. Okay. And again, with that white chalk pencil, which seems to have eluded me now. Oh, there it is. And just on the top of those waves, I'm just going to add a little bit of that white, you see, just to highlight it, just to bring it in a touch. There we go. Okay, let's have a look at that. All right, so it's not finished yet. I'm going to go now to just my regular pencil. I know you know that I quite like using colours and bringing my normal pencil in as well, and I think that's what we're going to do here. So, okay, I'm going to just add in some on the boat. You see, just where the sort of the water's touching it. So there, okay. And then working around and little bits into there, okay. So then, again, same with my pencil. What I'm going to do this time is I'm going to work around the circle, around that edge, but you see I'm actually on the inside of it, and I'm going to do the same on that side as well. So working from both sides. Now because I'm on a sort of super smooth tile, I'm not going to press on too hard, because we know we have to work a little bit harder to get the shading with these. So you see where I'm working, but I'm not going into the centre. There we go. Alright, just coming around, adding some in. Definitely not in the centre, we want that highlight in there. Okay, so around we go, into that one, and along. Don't forget we've still got this to do, a little flag at the top there. There we go. See, I'm not going to see that one, it's underneath. So let's just have a look at where we are. There we go. Okay. Oh, deep breath. Torchy on then. And also I'm going to do, very gently, just soften the edges in the boat. There we go. Now see here that I've got a little gap. Let's have a look. See there in the water? So I'm just going to come in. You can use coloured pencils if you like, but because the boat's going to be there, I'm just going to add a touch of pencil to it, just to give it that bit of realism there. Okay. Alright, so the next one then. So, working on this bit here, just softening those edges a little bit, working my way around. Okay. And along there. Oh, thank you, Bridget. I think this week we have sort of worked on realistic images, haven't we? These definitely work well on cards and things. They've not been as abstract as some of them. I like to mix things up a little bit if I can. So doing these two, obviously you've got, you know, one for a lady's card we did the other day, and this could be for a man's. I don't know, Margarita. I think, do you know what? We just focus on what we're doing, and stick with it that way, and not worry about some of these weird messages that are coming up. It's not a problem. Okay. You know what I think as well? As much as we want to tangle, sometimes you want to have a go at the drawing, don't you? You say you can't draw, but look at this one. Look at it. Okay, so you know what's going to come in the centre here, don't you? We're going to go back to that white pencil. And ever so gently, I'm not going to press on real hard, I'm just going to really gently add in a little bit of a highlight. You see that I'm stopping when I come to those little dots there, and just work my way ever so gently round, and I'm just following the curve just as we go. A little bit there. Okay, let's have a look at that. Alright, back into pen now. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fill in those little dots there. Wondering actually I might go a little bit bigger, because we're filling them in, we can do. There we go. Of course, imagine these are little shiny stones on and things. Oh, quite nice, wouldn't it? There we go. It is, and yes, Anna, if you're not so sure, put a little bit on and you can build it up, and that works the same with everything that you do. If you put too much on, it's a lot more difficult to remove it. So yeah, so looking at that, we've got those in. So it's coming back to a pencil, and what I want to do now is I want to actually put a little bit more weight into this outer edge. So going back, and as we've just said on it, adding in some more. You see that it's starting to look a little bit more 3D now. Certainly with these coloured tiles, because they've got a smooth finish, you want to build up the layers as you go. I mean, there's no rush. It's no panic as to how much time it takes. You know, if you wanted to, you could leave it, come back to it if you wanted to. Oh, great! These parcels that are arriving. I can't wait to see what you're going to come up with them. Yeah, those products that, you know, they're just lovely. I'm ever so pleased that you're liking them, so thank you for that. Okay, and just working my way around. Okay, so you see that I've gone all the way around again, and again just ever so gently. Oh, you could, yes, you could, Joanna. I mean, we've done a bit of a porthole one before, haven't we, with a bit of we did the fish. So there's nothing stopping you sort of mingling that and doing all that kind of thing. So you see there, I'm not really trying to expand this at all. I'm just softening that edge, just gently. You see, just giving it that little bit more darkness that it needs. And of course, if you wanted to, you could do it with the pencils. So you can add some colour. So I like to mix and match. I like to mix the colours with the regular pencils. I quite like the idea of that. Okay. Oh, Christine, finished works. We post on my other page. It's just called Sandra Rushton. I don't know why it doesn't let you post on this page. It's honestly, but that's where we post finished ones. So you see now, all I'm doing is I'm just very gently adding just a touch of yellow around the background here. We just want a little bit of colour just to make it look like there's something in the back there. Let's just add a touch there, you see? And I think we need a bit of that, you know, that lovely magenta colour. Let me just find that. Let's have a look. It might be, let's see. Oh no, maybe orange. Let's have a bit of orange. Bring in a bit of orange in. And again, just in the background there, just a touch, just to warm that background up. Okay. See, just adding a little bit. And again, if you want to use your pastels for this, go ahead and use your pastels. You see, I'm having to work it a little bit more because I am using coloured pencils. Just gives it a little bit in the background. Let's just add a little bit there too, just so it looks like there's a bit of, maybe a bit of sun in the background. Okay. See, just a little bit. So I might bring there's that yellow gone. Oh no, do you know, I'm working on my desk and it was all nice and clean and tidy. And now I've lost my yellow. Okay, there you go, not to worry. Well, I've got another one. There you go. See, just stay. I'm not completely colouring the whole thing. I just wanted a little bit more yellow around the edges there. There we go. All right, coming back to my dark blue. Oh, it's sweet, isn't it? You see where these little waves cross over each other? I know we've not done much on them. I'm just going to add a little bit of that dark blue. You know, just where one overlaps with the other. There we go. Just a little bit. Of course, you could come in and you could do this with your regular pencil too. So you see, just add in a touch, and you can mix your pencils up with your regular pencil. It's absolutely fine. It just gives it a bit more of a subdued colour if you want. And then of course you can come in with your tortillon and just add in those little bits. There we go. See? Alright, let's have a quick look at that then. Joyce, yeah, when I say blending solutions, I use baby oil. So I just think sometimes working with what you've got in the home is a little bit easier than actually, you know, mixing and matching and buying specific. So I mean, by all means, try lots of different things. It's fine. I'm sorry, I don't have any baby oil around me at the minute, or else I'd show you. But yeah, that's all I use, and I don't use a particular brand. It's whatever's there at the time, so don't worry about that so much. So okay, I actually want to do a little bit around the outside as well. So coming back in with a pen, let's have a look. Oh, I know, yeah, I know you do get a little bit lost. So let's have a little bit of design around the outside here. So I'm just going to come in with a bit of a curve and put a little bobble on the top, just where I've got a bit of a gap, and then again another one going the other way, a bit of a bobble on the top. You see? Let's do a couple of those. And then again where I've got some gaps. Now they're all going to be different sizes, go in different ways. Don't think you've got to count them. Just sort of go with how you feel at the time with them. And the idea is we don't want to leave the writing just as though we've put it there and we're not going to do anything with it. It's just about, you know, bringing it in as part of the image. Okay, so just going in with these little blobs and just adding different shapes and sizes. There's all sorts of things we could do. As I said, you know, it's a bit of a porthole here. We could add in a few fish, different sort of like tangles. There we go. See, it's just nice and gentle. Just don't look at the last one that you did. Just work on that space you've got. So they're not going to be the same. We got a little one there, see? Let's have another one coming over there. You see where it starts to now bring that lettering in as part of the image rather than it just being something you've written. And again, you could do this kind of thing with anything, couldn't you? If you've got a particular verse or a poem or something that you quite like, you know, that you could put round something. You could even do the flowers in the middle, like we did on Wednesday, and do the same sort of thing. It's just a nice little technique, isn't it? It works. And of course, having those sails in there and you're putting those words in, again, you can do something totally different. Oh, maybe so. Julie, perhaps we should, I don't know, is anybody on James Blunt's Facebook page? Oh, you see here I've got my little sail. I think I need to come in with the orange. Here we go, whilst I'm there. Let's just add a touch of orange to that sail. Not sail, flag rather. There we go. There we are. See, just so that sort of stands out a little bit. And adding in there. All right, let's have a look at that. All right, so we've got this little bit of pattern coming around. So of course we've got a little bit more space there. So I think what we could do is let's add in a little bit of a border. Now this time I'm going to, on purpose, add in a bit of a wave. There we are. Of course, don't forget, if you want to put your dots in first, go ahead. I think I'm just going to work, definitely put that wave in. There we are. Just gives it a similar sort of vibe, doesn't it? It's nice to have a change. There we go. Working it through. And into there. Oh, thank you, Margarita. It's yeah, I've enjoyed doing this one. Well, this week, I've enjoyed doing both. It's constantly coming up with different ideas. It's really exciting to be able to share them, and that you all have a go. I mean, certainly last week's with the one where I put the lines all over the top, and it was a lovely tile to start with, and then you're like, oh my goodness, what's she doing? That was great. And the fact that you've all given it a go and worked around, I think that's brilliant. Because they're just small little bits of paper, aren't they? I mean, they're good quality, and we did talk, didn't we? Not mentioning no names, Chris, about saving tiles, and just go with it and just enjoy what you're doing at the time. You never know what's going to come out from each session. Some work, some don't, and as we've said, if there's some that don't, then yeah, you could put those lines all across it. You could add a different pattern over the top, or just leave it to one side, and maybe in a few weeks' time you'll come back to it and think, oh, do you know what? It's not so bad after all. There we go. So I'm just working my way around now. I'm doing the same pattern that I've just done around the edge, the little sort of porthole or ring or whatever you want to call it. I'm just going in and now adding. So there's all different sizes, see, all different lengths. And yes, Julie, you can put zingers in if you want to. It mixes in lovely actually with these. They'd look really nice. So just working my way around. Do you know what I mean? As well, even if this was just in the regular black and white on one of the regular tiles, it would just look lovely too. So I do actually. I'll show you the sample one I've done in a little bit, because that was on a regular tile. Although I have added colour. So see what you think. It's nice to sort of have the option of both. Okay. So you see, if you find that you're actually doing these and they're looking pretty similar, you start somewhere else and work your way backwards. And that'll break up the pattern or the uniformity of it. Because we're after something that's a little bit different, you see. Oh, Vi, yeah. Do you know what? It's lovely. I actually drew that moth. It was from a photograph I took. There was a moth that landed on my fence, on the side of the house, and I thought, oh, that's quite nice. Obviously, it wasn't those colours. It was sort of browns and oranges, but I thought that's really nice. So I did draw that originally for a class, so I'm glad that you're all giving it a go. I mean, I said that I'm not in the office today, so if you have put orders in, obviously they don't go out till Monday, because we've got no power, so I can't fill in the paperwork to send them to the post office. So yeah, John's had an easy day today. Although having said that, we've had to order a new washing machine, because ours has been on the way out for a long time. So the washing machine's arrived today, so he's been dealing with that. So, and of course the boys, Benji and Seth, are happy that he's in, so that's nice. Okay, so you see now we've got this really lovely sort of end, sort of around the edge there. Again, as we've said, it could add a couple of zingers. I'm not going to though. I'm not going there today. But what I'm going to do is I'm coming back in with that white pencil. Now again, you can use any of the colours. Maybe it look just as good in the orange or the or the yellow there. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go around that frame. There we go. No choice. Well, we've had a separate washing machine and dryer, so yeah. And it wasn't, it's only a couple of weeks ago we swapped the cooker out as well. So that was not cooking. That wasn't cooking very well, and I'm not saying it was it was my cooking. I'm just saying, yeah. Put it this way, it's cooked things a little bit better since we've had the other one in. All right. Okay, you know, I could add a little bit round the outside of that circle too. Right, now you notice again, I'm using the side of that pencil, so I'm keeping it nice and soft, but just using the side, not the point. Not like I did with the highlight down the sort of is it the mast? Yeah. Okay. All right. So tortillon. Now let's have a quick look. Do I have one that I could use for white? I do. It's not too bad at all. There we go. Oh no, Leslie. This is it. See. Perhaps would have been better if we'd gone to work, wouldn't it? Oh, virtual hug. There we are. See, I'm just softening it off. I'm not trying to spread it too. Oh, sorry, going off the camera there. There we go. Yeah. Do you know, it's nice that when you're getting all your parcels and you're all really excited about, you know, using the new stencils and things. I do hope you post some of the pictures that you're doing. I've had a few from, you know, some emailed. Lotus flower particulars, you know, they're looking fab. Of course, you know, you could add your butterflies in. It's lovely. Oh, whose freezer flooded there? Oh my goodness me. Oh, that'd be a nightmare. I wonder how my fridge is doing at the office. And there's not much in it, so it should be alright. Okay. Alright, so just nice and gently, just sort of softening these edges up. Let's have a look at where we're at in a minute. We've spent quite a lot of time today, haven't we? Not particularly tangling, but actually adding in a lot of the other details. Oh, see, I know, spiders. Do you know, we've got one actually. I was in the bath last night. You look up at the light and you just think, what's that in the light? It's oh, two spiders in there. And I was like, no, it's not good. It's not good. So I says to John, that you've got to do something about that. Okay, so I'm just coming in now with my yellow, ever so gently, and I'm just adding a touch of yellow around with that white. I'm hardly pressing on. I just want a hint. So nothing major. Oh, Julie. Oh. It'll be there, it will. It'll be there. Oh, no. There's so many ideas, so many things on the go. It's lovely. Wouldn't want it any other way. So there we go. Just a touch of yellow, you know, just bringing that warmth in and just working it round. Yeah. There we go. One more thing to do, I think, and then we're almost done. Okay. All right. So one more thing to do is now I'm going to just come back in with my black pen. Okay. So let's go in a little bit larger. Now, we talk about, you know, doing lots of different things and just enhancing. And this is where it changes, as I've said before, so you're not just looking at a picture now. It's about having that little bit of instruction just to enhance your work. And yeah, I could use the stencil to go around it, and if you're not confident about doing this, do that, that's fine. But I want to add a little bit of weight just to the outside edge there. You see what I'm doing? I'm just sort of going in, and it's almost like a sketchy kind of line. I'm not trying to keep it single. Alright, and you see, just gently. Oh, Sheila, I'm alright with spiders as long as they're outside. You know, if they're inside, I do leave them, and we'll move them if we can, but no, I'm not a fan. Not a fan, I must admit. I wouldn't do them any harm, but I'm not a fan. No. Same with ants. As you all well know, ants have been a problem this summer. Certainly coming in and out of our building. We don't want that. Hopefully we're not going to have the same problem next year because we've filled all the gaps. But you never know. Not good. Not when you get them many in anyway. Okay, so I'm just now working on the inside, and it's just about enhancing, you know, that depth. We want this to really stand out. Okay, so almost there, look. There we go. Working my way around those last bits. You see here, obviously that's sort of coming out. You've got the part of the ship there, or the boat. Let's bring that in. Let's have a look at that. Oh, hang on. I missed a bit around here. You can see, look, the difference between the line I've drawn and the line that was there. It's just about bringing that back to life. There we go. And get my way around. Let's just have a little bit of one in there. Okay, let's have a look at that. Oh, does it, Chris? Oh, don't know about that. But you know what? They're not paying rent. They're not staying in, to be fair. Okay. So, I think, you know, if we could do a little bit, it's... oh, no, try them. Just try them. Don't worry about it. You know, it's a bit of paper, and it's all about you having a play and just going for it. So have fun with those. So there's my signature. There's my boat. And yeah, I feel a lot better after doing that. I really think that's lovely. And I say I do have my original version. So if I just put that one down there, you can see that's on the light blue tile. This is just done on the regular cream tiles. And you can see there you've got slightly different version. It's always different. Same patterns though, the same sort of effect, but obviously a couple of different colours. I know, Bridget. But it's about having a little bit of a try, isn't it? And I suppose if you were to put that on a card, it'd look lovely, but just as nice in your journal. And of course, imagine having a lot of these sort of things working around, you know, on your journal page as well. Then you could have a couple more boats and a little bit of the, you know, the fish and things like that. I think actually I'll show you how to do the fish. It came in, let me think now, book 2. So that would be between tiles sort of 13 and 24. So if you're not sure how to do the little fish, then that might be worth having a look at, going back and doing those. I know it does, Sue. It's just so many things you can do with this. Imagine doing different shaped sails and that kind of thing. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this one. I hope you've enjoyed both this week, actually, because they've been, as I say, they've been pictures that you can use for other things. But, you know, we've also got that mindfulness, and I think it brings it back with this one today. Just reminding us that, yeah, we've got that gratitude going in. Although we've got our negatives, the positives far outweigh, and that's what you've got to focus on. So I hope everybody has a lovely weekend. Oh, thank you, Margarita. And, you know, gives it a go and sees what comes of it, and sees what comes of it. And, yeah, just enjoy it. Post some pictures. Let me see what you're up to. And looking forward to seeing you all again next week. And I think Marie's on next week on Monday. She's going to be doing Christmas. Yay! She's doing the Christmas wreaths, actually. So that'll be a nice one to do because they're fabulous. And then, of course, we are back just as normal on Wednesday at 2 o'clock. Friday's the 23rd? I think I'm at Create and Craft on the 23rd. I can't remember the dates or the times off the top of my head, but we can sort that and I'll let you know what they are. And if it comes the case that I can't do the live in the afternoon, we'll just swap the times over a little bit. But as I say, I'll keep you posted on that and let you know. So, okay, everybody, take care, enjoy, have a really lovely weekend, especially you, Julie, if you're allowed out. Just be careful, though. All right, stay safe. And I'll see you all soon. Okay, See you all, guys. Have a good one. Bye.